Hey, it's a new day, and check it out. We're kind of in the studio. It's temporary, but we're here. Sorry if there's an echo. I guess there's nothing I can do about that right now. Anyway, we're here, and I have a very unscientific gear review for you. So let's just jump into it, shall we? Cool. All right, guys, so I just replaced a piece of gear that has been plaguing me for a bit now. I didn't want to jump into the hype beast, hype train that everyone else was doing, and I know I'm late to this review, but I got this guy. Yeah, the super awesome Peter McKinnon edition Polar Pro variable neutral density filter. God, that is a lot to say, huh? Anyway, I got it, and I got it for a good reason. So what happened was, as you could probably see from my last Alaska video, I did a lot of, video for my Alaska trip. And I was using I want to say it wasn't cheap. I wouldn't even say it was an affordable, but it was a neutral density filter, a variable ND. And I noticed quite a bit of color shifting on it. And that was really bothering me. So what ended up happening is, in order to correct for the massive teal and green shift in all of that video that I used it, especially at the upper end of neutral densitizing? Yeah, we're gonna say densitizing, that's a technical term. At the upper end of neutral densitizing, we were getting some pretty heavy color shift, and that bothered me. Now, luckily I was able to compensate for that in the video by just throwing a LUT on that added a lot of orange, and that kind of hit it enough so that you guys wouldn't necessarily notice it as much. I don't know, maybe let me know if you notice it quite a bit. So what I did is I got super mad that I did the entire trip with that awful color shift. And what happened was, just as I got home, found out that the footage was just bad when I looked at it. And thing number two is I got my security deposit back from my last house that I rented. So, hey, free neutral density filter, right? So right off the bat, I did really like the presentation and the value that you get from this filter. It's not the cheapest filter. It's actually pretty pricey. It's $249, but the comparable B&W model, which is what I usually use for my filters, except for these NDs that I had been using, the comparable one's about 300 bucks. So I guess 50 bucks cheaper for around the same quality. That's pretty good. And I want to make known right off the bat now that this is not a technical, scientific pixel peeping review. That's just not my jam. I'm too lazy for that. Gerald Undone did a super solid technical review of this filter. I'll put a link in the description if you want to know everything. And really his video is what made me decide to buy this filter, because I was going to wait. I didn't think it would be worth it, but I'm glad that I got it. So the box is awesome, as you can tell. It just looks good. Polar Pro does a phenomenal job of their boxing. It's got this this glossy texture, and then there's a matte. Oh, it's just great. There's a really cool texture on the box. It's just seriously guys, this is awesome. And then you open it up, if I can get it to friggin' open, and then you open it up, and inside you've got a print from Peter McKinnon, that's cool. It's a good photo. You got this warranty information and some stickers in there. That's cool. And you get a microfiber cleaning cloth. That's awesome. I'm never going to use that cloth because it's too nice. I don't want to do that. In the box are obviously the filter, which is great. And to me, the most useful three things are how you carry the filter. So you've got this awesome little case here. It's a hard case, so filter fits in there. And it's magnetic. It's really solid. It's a little heavy, but I can deal with that for how protective this is for a $250 filter. The next thing that it comes with is this pouch, and this thing's awesome too. It is a super nice soft inside pouch, and it's got a built-in microfiber cloth that you can clean and help kind of tuck it in place with. This is great. I'm not using this yet because I like the hard case, but I do know that eventually I will use this. And then let's go on to the filter. So the filter comes with this rubberized protector lens cap, and that's great because more importantly it helps you add it to the camera easier, because you're not grabbing the actual filter itself, getting any smudges and stuff, and then you have just a super awesome solid lens cap that protects it. One of the main things that I love about this filter that I hated about other ND filters was that, there's two things actually. So on the filter itself, it has markings, and that's great because it tells you where you're at in terms of stops of neutral densitizing. So you go from 0, which is still some, all the way up to 5. It's a 2 to 5 stop filter. And then my second favorite part about it is it has hard stops. So you know when you're at the end of each end of the filter, which makes it super, super easy to just jump in, grab it, and go. Instead of having to like stop what you're doing and look, and you just, it's cool. It's really a good feature, especially if you accidentally bump it, like if it bumps up against your pants as you're carrying it on a strap or something. That happens all the time on the old one. Yeah, that's basically the ergonomics of this thing, and I'm super excited to start really testing this thing out. Now, I'm going to be testing and doing the rest of this video on the Sony a7 III and the Sony 16-35 G Master lens. For a couple reasons. One, I wanted to test it against the color shifting I was getting on my old footage from Alaska to really compare easily. Two, this is an 82mm filter size lens, and my other wide angle on my Canon, which is a 17-40, which is, I'm shooting on my Canon right now, is a 77mm filter thread. And what I noticed is I was using a very budget step-up ring that caused, on that lens with this filter, to have a lot of vignetting, and that's not the filter's fault at all. That's because I was using an inferior step-up ring. It's thick, so it really pulls the filter away, and it causes all of those problems. So to give it the best, most fairest comparison, I think this is probably the way to go. Although I would really like to test it on a Canon setup. However, the only lens that I have at 82mm is my 24-70, and I don't really like shooting video on that. It's not bad. I like that wide angle look for the stuff that I tend to do. So that's how the rest of the test footage I think is gonna go. All right, well, I think that's the rest of the talking head segment. The next part is just to go out and shoot with it. And I've been waiting for a while, I just haven't had the motivation, but I'm ready to do it now, so let's go. Of note, it's 97 degrees outside, and it's the worst time of day to shoot because it's about 1:30. The sun's directly above. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go outside. It's too hot. At least there's a breeze. Let's go. You guys, it is so hot out. Maybe I'm just complaining because I don't like the heat. Nah, it's just hot out. The things I do for the footy.
You shake your head in full denial of the truth. Didn't get a chance to say it loud. Your secrets kept you pushing down, disavow. When he was knocking on your door, nobody got in. Now when you're screaming for a hand, nobody's listening. This is far from the end. You're gonna be back for more. This is far from the end. You're gonna be back for more. All this silence, dear old friend, come to push you to the bitter end.
What up, peeps? It is way in the future. I recorded that little cinematic sequence, and I got really lazy, and I decided that I needed to do some sort of outro because I didn't shoot an outro. Basically, in conclusion, I really like this filter. It's a really good filter. I'm really enjoying it. You know, it checks most of the boxes of what I was looking for in a filter. Actually, I'd say it checks all the boxes. It's just good. God, it looks good too. Look at that gold color's nice. I really love the hard stops on this guy. There's these like really burly grip rings on here to move the filter on and off, and like to get positive purchase when you're moving it between neutral densitization points. You can really feel it. I'm sure it'd also be really good with gloves on too. I do shoot a lot in the cold, so that's handy. The colors were good. It's not perfect, but it's a really good filter. It's my favorite by far. The vignetting wasn't really a problem, and like I said, the ergonomics of it are spot on, especially with that rubber lens cap thing to put on, and it's just so nice. So yeah, I hope you guys liked that little cinematic sequence I did using that filter. I went to First I went to, there's a park just down the street from me that I like shooting at because it's very pretty. And then I went to El Dorado Springs with my buddy Scott. Scott, thanks for going on that hike with me to get the footy. Went to Mount Falcon after that with my friend Olivia. Olivia, thank you for bearing with me as I got a lot of footage of grass. A couple things to note with this filter though, as I noticed when I was shooting with it, when you're doing photo, which I did do a lot of photo with this filter, when the filter is on, you lose the facial and eye AF on at least the Sony camera. I'm guessing it's with any camera, and I think that's because of the circular polarizer that's built into what makes a variable neutral density filter what it is. It's just, that's like standard. I think that happened on my old filter too. So just keep that in mind when you're using a variable ND. That is going to be a thing that you have to deal with. But the nice thing about those Sony cameras is they have 1 million AF points anyway, so it's not like you're gonna, you know, lose precision. I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment as a whole. I figured it would be appropriate doing a Peter McKinnon branded filter to just basically completely blatantly rip off his style. I'm kidding, it wasn't a rip off, but it was very much, I use the same music. It's a great song, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that was like full on. I didn't know how to make a Peter McKinnon sequence, so I just threw in all the whip transitions I could possibly find and think of, and I hate doing whip transitions, but they look really cool. It's just that I'm really bad at them, so maybe, you know, it was good practice. So I hope you enjoyed that part of it. You know, they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. I'm pretty sure Socrates said that. So thanks, Socrates, for, you know, basically, yeah, thanks. Sorry, by the way, if my heart is like, I'm breathing heavily, my heart's got, I just slammed one of those yerba mates, and my heart is like palpitating, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like a little too much caffeine. I think if I had to pick one, like, if I was like a super celebrity on YouTube and I could have any celebrity endorsed product, I think I'd pick like disposable lens wipes with my name on it or my face on the package, but you could also use them on your butt. I think that'd be like the most useful celebrity endorsed product ever. Thank you for watching this video, this dumpster fire of a review. I would call it somewhere between dumpster fire and wet fart. But hopefully, you know, you got some information out of it. Thank you for watching it. If you liked it, thumbs up. In the words of who said this? If you didn't like it, hit thumbs down twice. Yeah, that's, I forget who says that. And then subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Wanna cut it out, the tide is turning back at you. When he was knocking on your door.